Welcome at the demo of the time recording app for Teams. We show you how project managers or project administrators can record project and HR related time for a team of employees. The app that you are going to see is a side-by-side extension of SAP ByDesign that runs on the SAP Cloud Platform with all the security and authorizations that comes with that. So what you look at now is the Launchpad of a user, where the user can activate the application. You log in with your same credentials as on SAP ByDesign, and if you have single sign-on, you don't have to do that. You select a company if you have multiple companies in your tenant, and the responsible unit, which is most of the time the profit center. And now you have narrowed down the projects in your system to a list where you can further filter to the project where you want to record time for. It shows only projects that are released and where the current date is appropriate with the start and the end date of the project. We select, in this case, the last project, and the screen is showing the employees that are assigned to this project and where the tasks are released. You can record time for 5 workdays, or you can even add the weekend days and start time recording for weekend days as well. In addition, you can expand the screen with all the tasks for each of the resources, and you even see that for someone already 8 hours are booked, but those are booked on another project. To make it easier for the demo we remove that again. And now we are going to focus on the accelerators that are available to record time. So first of all, we are going back and see what time has been recorded last week. We see that some time has been recorded for Jasmine on project management on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Those are always the same days that she's working on this project. And we see some time for a workshop. So the first accelerator is to copy from last week. You can copy the timesheet from all employees from last week, but you can also just select one. So in this demo, we just select Jasmine and we copy the hours. Hours are copied successfully. It shows that the hours are inactive. It has the work description from last week, which you can just leave, but you can also make adjustments if you want to. If required, you can enter the start and end date, and then release the hours. What you will see is that now the hours will be in a green box, because now the status has changed from inactive to active. The second accelerator is the wizard. With the wizard, you can enter time for multiple persons with a description for multiple days. In this case, we select just one day, the Thursday, where we did a workshop. We select the task workshop, and all three employees were active in that workshop. So immediately the time is recorded on that day for the 3 resources with the appropriate work description. We can release the hours. It's not really necessary. You can repeat this process multiple times before you release all hours. Of course, it's also possible just to enter time in for one day. In this example, we choose for the Saturday where Belinda spent time for preparations for next week. So you can enter just a number, or you can select it from the pull down. Of course, again, you have the possibility to enter the work description. If that is mandatory set in the project, then it will come back with an error message if you have not entered the work description, and it will ask you to enter it. That is only when you have defined it in the project. You also can define here that from the 6 hours spent in the weekend, only 4 hours are billable, and then release it. So we have now all hours recorded, and if we close all the features, you see now in the overview screen all the hours that are booked on this particular project. Of course, also the Saturday where we just booked the hours is shown. One of the features is also that if an employee is not planned on the project, you can add this employee on the fly. So in this case, we have an employee that supported the workshop on Thursday. So we select the employee, we select the task and the service, and now this employee is added to the project in ByDesign. And after refreshing the screen, it's then also possible to record time for this employee that we just added. If you do this in ByDesign, then you really have to go through multiple screens. And here in a couple of clicks, you have added the resource, you can record the time, and you can release the time. So in this case, we use the pull down, we have a description, workshop support, and we release the hours. So this is really an accelerator if you have projects where you don't know in advance exactly who is working on that project. After refreshing, it will show that the actual hours are booked, also in the backend. Of course, it doesn't have planned hours, like we see in all the other resources which were planned. They also have planned hours against actuals. Really nice for the project managers to review progress. Then another important feature is the recording of HR related time. We are in a project screen, but you are able to record the time that is HR related. In this case, for Belinda, we're going to add the time for a training that she attended. So it shows now the HR time types, which is education and training. We select that it was a one full day training of 8 hours. And we add the work description, project management training. After releasing these hours, they are then also shown as total hours written for that day. You see that in the blue line of Belinda Schouten. So if we now go back to the overview screen, you see that those 8 hours on Monday are just part of the total hours written. So you see project related hours and HR related hours in one view. And that's the demo for today. So we are back and you can continue now recording time for other projects. Thank you for your attention.